the matchless gifts. And between that period, how many months? 10 months. Prabhupada stayed in 6 places. First place he stayed was in Butler, Pennsylvania. And where he was staying, the family really didn't, the wife didn't really want him there. He was a little different. But he was there. They tried to get him something to preach in YMCA. Just go there, spend the whole day there and come back. But even there, Prabhupada used to walk a couple of miles from there to come home. Then he came to New York, and another person, Dr. Mishra, he had a yoga center. He was a Mayavadi, complete Mayavadi. He was a sannyasi, but he didn't really have any sannyasi-like appearance and even teachings. Prabhupada stayed there for some time, but he saw that even there he could not preach, and his mission was to come here and preach. And then he found another place. We're ready? Yeah. So I'm going to pause here and we'll just watch the video, and then you'll get a good understanding. And we are proud to be part of this movement, ISKCON. I don't know how many of you all felt it in your heart watching this. That day when Prabhupada wanted to go back to the shipping company and ask, when can I take the next ship? And him just thinking that, I'll just stay one more month. I'll just stay a little longer and wait till my visa is expired. If that decision he had made to go back, we all wouldn't have been here, for sure. Living in an apartment, all his work stolen, turbulations all the time, and we complain about small petty things. We cry about small petty things, about small issues. So when I see Prabhupada and I watch his life, that is the only inspiration, actually. I mean, what else? After reading Srila Prabhupada, if you have not read about Srila Prabhupada yet, then you must. You should read the full Lilamrita. Lilamrita is about whole Prabhupada's life. If you have not read that, you probably never understand this ISKCON or Hare Krishna movement. You'll never understand the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. To understand the importance of Hare Krishna, you have to understand who Srila Prabhupada was. You have to read that. And after seeing what he went through, which devotee would not feel that I want to do something for him? Sometimes, one time a devotee came to Prabhupada in Vrindavan. He collected $200,000 and he gave to Srila Prabhupada. He actually deposited straight in the bank because Prabhupada didn't get a chance to meet Prabhupada. He just put in the bank, in the account. And then Prabhupada once called him and chastised him for something else. And then called him and chastised him for something else. And finally, he got very upset. And he said, you know what, I'm just quitting. Prabhupada said, okay, I'm also quitting. This devotee stood up, I'm quitting. And Prabhupada said, I'm also quitting. The devotee never expected Prabhupada to say something like that. Then he said, sit down. And he sat down. And then Prabhupada started talking to him and he forgot about everything, gave him a service. He's still a devotee. The point is that he was saying that I was thinking, I brought $200,000 and Prabhupada will give me some attention, pat in the back. But Prabhupada, he was saying that according to Visaranda, our spiritual master accordingly will chastise us or guide us, things like that. So Prabhupada has given so much to us, and it's time that we give back to Prabhupada, all of us. And like he was saying, the best way I can give is to execute the orders of my spiritual master. And that's the only faith that I have. So we must also have that faith that, whenever I'm in such situations, I always remember that, which sampradaya, which movement I belong to. And that gives the courage, that gives the strength. If we try to do it on our own, we will not be able to. So if Prabhupada could go through so much tribulations, and he never took a break. If you read his Lilamrita, he never took a break. Even when he was somewhere resting, so-called, he was not resting, he was planning his next execution. So there is no rest for us. There's so many things we can do with our mind, through our intelligence. We don't need to use our hands and legs all the time. We can help others who are serving. That is also helping. We can help others who are serving, who are helping others serve. We can do it like that also. But we must always be constantly helping, serving, and not expect anything in return. Zero expectation. Srila Prabhupada, when he was about to go back to the shipping company and say that when is the next ship back, before that he said one more try. So he wrote to Indira Gandhi, he wrote to Lal Bahadur Shastri, and he wrote to Srimati Murarji Desai, who gave him the free ticket to come to US in a merchant navy ship. Indira Gandhi's office replied back that it's wonderful what you're doing, but as you know, the Indian currency right now is very bad in the market and all, so it is not possible for the government to help you set up a Radha Krishna temple. Lal Bahadur Shastri's office never replied. Srimati Murarji, he said that, Srimati Murarji, you will be the first lady in history to set up a temple here in New York City. You will go into history. She said, I sent you a ticket and that's best I could do. I can't do anything. He was completely hopeless. His godbrothers, he wrote to that, send me some money, please, I need to set up. He went to Bala Krishnan, or his Indian cultural dancer, Bharatnatyam dancer, to see her programs, because she was very famous and many Westerners used to come to see her Bharatnatyam dance. He would go there just to see what are the local people looking for, so he can understand from her that how to market Krishna. When he had nothing, this was in his 4th house that he was staying in the first 10 months. When he had nothing, he was telling the guy who he was staying with, take me around New York City. Why? Because I want to see and select which area I should be building our temple. He had 40 rupees in his pocket. And his vision was to check out. And he liked one building in New York City. And he said this would be an ideal building for us. That was our Prabhupada and his vision. So consider ourselves very fortunate. We're very small in number compared to the population of this universe. Prabhupada was one person in America who came. It is not us, but it is the strength of our acharyas that is behind us. Take it very, very seriously. And if we really want to please Srila Prabhupada, if we really want to please Krishna, even Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, if you want to please me, you have to spread this message of Krishna consciousness. So if we are serious about this, jump in the battlefield. Or help those who come injured from the battlefield. Somebody needs to make food also. Somebody needs to aid them also. So some devotees who are on the streets, like in New York City, we have devotees who go day after day after day after day for Harinam. When they come back, help them out with some Lakshmi. Help them with something. But our movement requires all of us to join hands and bring this together. And I don't see any reason why not, that we also here can do so much for Prabhupada as an offering before we leave this planet. That we leave a legacy behind. When we go and Prabhupada is waiting there, he said, what did you do? I had prasadam. You should be able to say something to him. What did you really do practically? And if you don't have an answer, just the thought that how disappointed he will be, how morose he will be to not get an answer from us. I'm speaking to each and every person here. Doesn't matter if you're initiated or not initiated. Because watching this video can transform you tonight. If your heart transforms tonight, you'll take this so seriously and you'll say, I just do not want to stay behind. I want to be able to face Prabhupada and say, in humble mood, that these are the things that I did. And when he pats on your back or he puts his hand on your head, our life is successful. When Hanuman came back from Lanka, you know what he got from Lord Ram? Anyone?
An embrace.
An embrace. He got an embrace. And when he got an embrace, there was one tear that fell from Lord Ram's eyes on Hanuman. Generally, we do the Abhishek of Lord Ram. And Ram here did Abhishek of Hanuman with his tears. He didn't anticipate, he didn't ask for anything in return. And this devotee I was telling you the story about, he said, what should I have expected? It is my duty to serve my spiritual master. It is my duty to serve Krishna. So to even think that I've done so much and I expect so much in return, I was a fool. What do I deserve in return? Nothing. So take this Krishna consciousness very seriously from a young age to all the children here, youth here. Your life will go like this, and in years you'll not be a youth anymore. You see the little boys dancing and jumping. Prabhupada wanted at this age, at a young age, you start. And it's all up to you. And this Krishna consciousness is something, it's all up to you how much effort you put in. If you're serious, no one can stop you from doing 16 rounds. No one can stop you from going to Krishna at this very moment. So let us take a moment and thank Srila Prabhupada once again for what he's given us. He continues to give us, like Prabhupada said, I will never die. Sometimes people get discouraged. But I say, why discouraged? Krishna is with us. Prabhupada is always with us. There is no reason to lose hope. We just have to keep trying. And when we get up from here, we'll start eating prasadam, we'll start talking with each other, which is all fine. But treasure this moment in your heart, deep inside somewhere. Lock that feeling. I see some of them have tears in their eyes. Lock that feeling. Don't let it go. Meditate on it. Keep meditating. And act upon it. Just tears, just in getting, feeling it and not acting upon it has no value. So the next thing we have to do is start planning. What am I going to do? What am I going to tell Prabhupada? What did I do? Thank you very much for your kind attention.